It is 6:02. I call this regular school board meeting to order. Mr. Salazar, Dr. Salazar, will you lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag.
I pledge allegiance to
thee, Texas,
one state, under God, one and indivisible. If you could remain standing for a moment of silence, please. Thank you. You can have a seat. Mr. Castillo, will you take roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Miss Sandra Garcia.
Present.
Mr. Ruben Treviño.
Present.
Mr. Martin Castillo, I am here. Miss Leticia Quintero, not here. Mr. Ray Farias. Mr. Ray Farias.
He's here. If you can just unmute yourself, Mr. Farias.
Okay, he is here. Mr. Jesus Amaya.
Present.
Mr. Leonel Garza.
Present.
Dr. Gonzalo Salazar.
Present.
Miss Elizabeth Neely.
Present.
Thank you all for joining us. It's time for a public audience and public comment. We had no one sign up for either. So we will move on to item number 7, district recognitions. Dr. Salazar, I'll turn it over to you.
Mrs. Garcia, members of the board, for a number of years now, we have been recognizing our teachers who are achieving a higher level of proficiency in a challenging position of education. And teachers who are modeling lifelong learning for our students. Here to introduce us to our teachers this evening, we have our principals. We begin with Mr. Justin Stumbaugh. Mr. Stumbaugh.
Good evening, Ms. Garcia, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. Tonight, I'm privileged to recognize two Los Fresnos High School teachers that have modeled that lifelong learning that Dr. Salazar has just talked about. We're going to start with Mr. Arturo Saldivar, who is currently in his 13th year in education, 11 of those years serving the students of Los Fresnos High School. Mr. Saldivar recently completed his master's degree in curriculum and instruction with an emphasis on science. During his time at Los Fresnos High School, Mr. Saldivar has taught multiple subjects in the areas of science, including physics, IPC, and biology. Mr. Saldivar would like to continue his career and use the knowledge he has gained through his graduate work to eventually become a science strategist. Mr. Saldivar, Los Fresnos High School congratulates you on this accomplishment. Thank you. Christine Barrera is in her 3rd year, all with Los Fresnos High School. During her time here in the district, Ms. Barrera is split between Liberty Memorial Middle School and Los Fresnos High School. Ms. Barrera just received her master's degree in agricultural science from Texas A&M Kingsville. Ms. Barrera is an agricultural science teacher and teaches livestock production, floral design, principles of agriculture, and energy and natural resources technology. New teacher for prep. Sorry, Ms. Barrera. She is also an FFA advisor and is currently preparing students for the Rio Grande Valley Livestock Show, which begins this week. Ms. Barrera, when asked about her master's degree, says she hopes to continue to expand our students' knowledge about the importance of agriculture for our students. Ms. Barrera, congratulations on your accomplishment.
Next, we have the proud principal of Los Fresnos United, Dr. William Roach.
Madam President, Dr. Salazar, members of the board. We are proud to have 3 teachers from Los Fresnos United who have earned their masters recently. Our first one is Miss Ariel Torres. Ms. Torres is completing her 6th year with us at Los Fresnos United, and she has been teaching English 2, which is obviously one of our tested subjects, and she's done an outstanding job for us there. She recently received her master's in reading from Sam Houston State University, and she hopes to one day become a reading specialist. If that would help her. Next, we have Mr. Greg Peña. Mr. Peña recently received his Master of Science in Sports Administration with an emphasis in educational leadership from Southeastern University, State University in Oklahoma. He teaches our tier classes, which is some of our most difficult students who are helping them to catch up on their credits. So we're very proud of the job that he does with us in the classroom. And he hopes to one day be an athletic director. Not anytime soon, he said, but someday he wants to be an athletic director. Congratulations. And last but not least, we have Miss Patty Hernandez. Miss Hernandez is in her 9th year of teaching Algebra 1 for all of these years. And so we're very happy to have her with us this evening. She has received her master's in mathematics from the University of UTRGV, it used to be. And she hopes to be able to start teaching some of our dual enrollment courses and one day teach at higher education. So we're very proud of her for that as well. Miss Patty Hernandez.
Next, we have Mrs. Pineda, principal of Resaca Middle School.
Good evening, Mrs. Garcia, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. This evening, we congratulate 2 of our Gator staff members for their academic accomplishments. Mr. Gomez is our head band director at Resaca Middle School. He started his teaching profession with LFCISD and has been teaching for 12 years. He has earned a Master's of Education and Administration degree from Lamar. His hopes are to become an assistant principal here in Los Fresnos. Mrs. Elizondo is an 8th grade ELAR teacher at Resaca Middle School. She is also our tier sponsor, UIL sponsor, and led our 7th grade STEAM program. She has been an educator in LFCISD for 8 years as a paraprofessional and teacher, and has now earned a Master of Education and Administration degree from Lamar University. She also hopes to become an assistant principal here in Los Fresnos, CISD.
Thank you, Mrs. Pineda. Please help me welcome the proud principal of Liberty Memorial Middle School, Ms. Macy Garza.
Good evening, Ms. Garcia, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you Coach Lonnie Lopez. Coach Lopez has been an educator he's going on his 17th year. 17th year, 14 of those years have been at Liberty Memorial Middle School. His first year, he taught math. His second year, he taught math and became the athletic coordinator at the same time, and did that for 2 years. He's been at Liberty Memorial for 14 years. As a 1995 graduate of Los Fresnos High School, he has spent countless hours mentoring students and hoping to develop these future athletes, these future Falcons. Tonight, he's being recognized for earning his master's degree from the University of Concordia, Irvine, California, in coaching and athletic administration. Coach Lopez plans to continue his postgraduate degree by pursuing a degree in educational leadership. Please join me in congratulating Coach Lonnie Lopez.
Thank you. We now welcome Ms. Veronica Grimaldo, principal of Los Fresnos Elementary.
Good evening, Mrs. Garcia, members of the board, Dr. Salazar. Today, I am proud to introduce Mr. Andrew Atkinson. He has completed his master's degree in educational leadership and policy studies. That's a tongue twister. And he got this from UT Arlington with a 4.0 GPA, I might add. And Mr. Atkinson would like to come after my position, he said, but not anytime, not anytime soon. So congratulations to Mr. Atkinson on your accomplishment. Your LFE team and I are very proud of you.
From Las Yescas Elementary, we have our Dean of Instruction, Ms. Elsa Altamirano.
Good evening, Board President, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. Thank you for having me here today. The LYE family would like to recognize one of our teachers, Rosario Corona, for her recent accomplishment. Ms. Corona has been in education for 5 years and recently got her master's degree in public affairs from UTRGV. Congratulations, Ms. Corona. The Longhorn family is very proud of you.
Please help me welcome Mr. Paul Leal, principal of Villarreal Elementary.
Ms. Garcia, members of the board, Dr. Salazar, very honored to be here tonight to recognize one of our teachers, Ms. Janet Lozoya. Ms. Lozoya is a first grade teacher there at Villarreal Elementary who strives to serve the students of our community. She is a product of Los Fresnos and the Ready, Set, Teach program. Back in the day, she said she could see herself doing exactly what she saw her teachers doing. So very proud of a local product, Ms. Lozoya rather. And as a student in the program, she grew to admire her teachers. She has a BA from the University of Texas at Brownsville, and in December 2019 earned a master's degree in curriculum instruction with an emphasis in literacy from the University of Texas at Arlington. She wanted me to say with a perfect 4.0 as well. Yes. Ms. Lozoya is dedicated and passionate, and she works hard daily to ensure that her students get the best education possible. Very proud of Ms. Lozoya. This is her second year at Villarreal. We stole her from one of the charter schools in the area. So we're very, very proud of Ms. Lozoya there at Villarreal. Congratulations.
We now welcome Ms. Jennifer Elizondo, principal of Lopez Riggins Elementary.
Good evening, Ms. Garcia, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Ms. Crystal de la Fuente, who has recently received her master's in special education. Ms. de la Fuente is an adaptive behavior unit teacher and is new to the Wrangler family, as this is her first full year of teaching. In a short amount of time, we have come to know that Ms. de la Fuente is a kind and caring individual with her students, parents of students, and coworkers. She is an asset to our campus as she creates a space for students to be themselves and learn in their own unique ways. She is a positive example to them each and every day. Ms. de la Fuente doesn't just teach her students, she helps prepare them for life beyond the classroom. Congratulations, Ms. de la Fuente, on your accomplishment.
Mrs. Rosemary Leal is principal of Albito Elementary. Welcome, Mrs. Leal.
Hi, good evening, Ms. Garcia, members of the board, Dr. Salazar. Tonight, I am so proud to introduce to you two amazing teachers from Olmito Elementary. First, we begin with Miss Melly Hinojosa. Melly's a third grade teacher at Olmito and has served our district for 17 years. And she graduated with a master's degree in education in counseling and development from Lamar University, and has also maintained a 4.0. Congratulations, Ms. Melly. We're super proud of you. And they told me that I needed to take it out. Congratulations, Ms. Melly. Next, we have Ms. Graciela Rubio. She is a fourth grade teacher at Albito Elementary. She has served our district for 16 years. She is also a product of Los Fresnos, so we're super proud of that. And she graduated with a Master's of Education with a specialization in reading from Sam Houston State University, and she too has maintained a 4.0 as well. Congratulations. They work super hard for that 4.0, so it's important to announce. Thank you.
Please help me welcome Mrs. Laura Trevino, principal of Dora Romero Elementary School.
Good afternoon, Ms. Garcia, members of the board, and Dr. Salazar. Today I'm here to proudly present Ms. Anna Greenwood. She's currently our fabulous third grade teacher. This is her third year with DRE, but she has 9 years of teaching experience. She is Google certified and Apple teacher. She was DRE teacher of the year 1920 school year. We were very blessed to have her at our campus, but she ensures all of us stay tech updated. There's always learning happening in room 23. She attended UTRGV and earned a master's in education leadership and is currently getting her principal certification, and that's coming very soon. Congratulations, Ms. Anna Greenwood, for all your accomplishments and what's yet to come. Thank you.
Next, we welcome Mr. Tony Padilla, principal of Los Cuatros Middle School. Mr. Padilla.
All right, so Dr. Salazar, Ms. Garcia, members of the board. Before I introduce Dr. Clemens, I'd like to tell you a quick story. She had told me she had gotten her doctorate, and a couple of days later, that same doctor came out of the parking lot with a Darth Vader mask, because in 7th grade science, they're introducing natural disasters, and that was her way of enticing her kids to pay attention on her Google Meets. So I present to you, I am very proud to present Dr. Chrissy Clemens. She received her doctorates in psychology with an emphasis on fluency and at-risk students. She's been with our district 16 years. She came to Los Cuatros, I think my first year as principal. Dr. Salazar called me and told me that we were getting Ms. Clemens to come on, or Dr. Clemens to come on over, and not really knowing who she was, we sat down to meet, and instantly she had me hooked. She's got a great personality. She's bubbly, and her personality is contagious, and you can tell because parents love her, but most of all, kids just gravitate towards her, and she works well with them. She makes them laugh. She'll do anything to put a smile on their face and make sure that they learn, and we can be more proud of her and more proud that she's a Los Cuatros Cougar. So, Dr. Chrissy Clemens. Oh, plant, right? You get the big one.
Mrs. Garcia, members of the board, we had 21 teachers this evening to the group of teachers with advanced degrees. Over 33% of our teachers have advanced degrees, and we're proud of their accomplishments.
Thank you, Mr. Salazar. And congratulations to all our teachers. It's nice to be able to celebrate them. They do a good job of celebrating our kids. Excuse me. I also want to acknowledge the families and the spouses who have given up their spouse and their moms and dads so that they could further their education. But it's wonderful to see also that they're such good students and proud of their accomplishments. So congratulations to all of them. I know they're all gone from the room, but what an accomplishment. We're very proud of them. Okay, at this time, we'll move on to item number 8, district reports. Dr. Salazar.
Mrs. Garcia and members of the board, we present to you financial reports. These are reports we bring to you each month, and we wonder at this time if any of you have any questions regarding our financial reports. If not, report number 2 is a summer school program report. We would entertain any questions you have about summer school at this time.
Any questions from the board? No. Give me a second. I'm going to change my screen so I can see Mr. Farias. Okay. Okay, there being no questions, we'll move on to item number 9, consent agenda. We have 6 items on consent agenda. If any of the board members would like to pull one out at this time, please let me know. Otherwise, I will entertain a motion on consent agenda. Mr. Trevino?
Can you hear me?
Now we can. Mhm.
Madam Chair, I move that the board approve consent agenda as written on today's agenda.
Do I have a second? Mr. Castillo will second. All those in favor of consent agenda, please raise your hand. Consent agenda passes as written. We move on to item number 10, action items. The first item is to discuss and take action to award a contract agreement for CSP number 20-21-36 E-rate services for funding year 2021 to SmartCom telephone for WAN transport and to Insight Communications for the internal connections. Do I have a motion? Mr. Amaya?
Madam Chair, I move that we award the agreement or contract for CSP number 20-21-36, which is an E-rate service for funding year 2021 to SmartCom telephone for WAN transport and to Insight Communications for internal connections.
Do I have a second? Mr. Garza will second. Are there any questions from the board? Any discussion? There being no discussion, all those in favor, please raise your hand. I can't see Mr. Farias anymore. Is he still on or he's on? Okay, let me just scroll. There he is. Okay, his hand's up. The motion passes unanimously. We move on to item number 2, discuss and take action to approve the superintendent's personnel recommendations for the following positions for the 2020-2021 school year. We have assistant maintenance director and a registered nurse. Do I have a motion from the board? Mr. Castillo, thank you. Do I have a second? Mr. Farias will second. Any discussion or questions from the school board members? There being no discussion, all those in favor of approving the superintendent's personnel recommendations, please raise your hand. The motion passes unanimously. Excuse me. Item number 11 is closed session pursuant to Chapter 551 of the Texas Government Code, including but not limited to 551.071 and 551.074. We will take a moment now to go into closed session. It is 7:20 or 6:27. Yeah. It is 6:38. We're back from closed session. And I'll open up the floor for any motions on what was discussed in closed session. That's right.
I can't understand.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. We're back from closed.
I move to propose non-renewal of term contract teacher Sylvia Spax at the end of the current contract term based on good cause as determined by the Board of Trustees. And further move to authorize the superintendent to deliver written notices to Mrs. Spax of this board action as required by law.
Mrs. Garcia, members of the boards, we have the following announcements. On Monday, March 15th through Friday, March 19th, we suspend normal operations for spring break. On Monday, April the 12th, we have a regular school board meeting here at 6 p.m. And we have several athletic events to tell you about. On Friday the 12th, if you enjoy soccer and softball, we encourage you to come out and support our Falcons. The boys will play against Hernandez South at 6 p.m. at Leo Aguilar. The Lady Falcons will compete against Hernandez South at 8 p.m. also here at home. And the girls softball team will play against San Benito at 6 p.m. also at home. On the 15th, boys soccer travels to, they will host the Westlaco Panthers at 10:30 a.m. And the Lady Falcon soccer team will also host Westlaco High at 12:30 here at home. Girls softball team will also host Harlingen South for a noon game at home. That's on the 15th. And then we have one more announcement. Pending final details, we are told that teachers, and only that category of employees, teachers, will receive their vaccinations on Thursday, at the Los Fresnos Clinic. So we'll make those arrangements as soon as we know what the schedule is and get word out to our staff. We are told the rest of the staff members will receive vaccinations in the coming weeks. So
All teachers,
Works.
100%?
all teachers.
Can you hear me or no?
Yes, we can
Okay,
hear you.
okay.
All teachers who want it.
Excellent.
Question from Mrs. Neely.
And I'm sorry, I could not hear the vote on the motion for Mrs. Speck. And if you could
Okay,
reiterate it for the record so that it's clear in the minutes.
okay, thank you, Elizabeth. For the record, the motion passed unanimously. We don't have to vote again, do we? Or
No, if you voted on it and the motion passed unanimously and and I could hear Mr. Garza, but I didn't hear who made the second. So if you could just announce that. So that's
Okay. Mr. Garza made the motion. The second was Mr. Ruben Trevino. There were no questions. Motion passed unanimously. Thank you. And that's all for announcements. So it is 6:42. This meeting is adjourned.